They said, boy, this day couldn't get here soon enough. Because everybody said somebody got to, we've been looking forward to one particular rodent out there, but before that happened, we had this one. Who needs Pikachu? You got me.
Here we go. I know you can't understand me, but put down the stapler or I will electrocute you.
Then we had, we talked about that. Go look for our review of that trailer right there and of that horror show called Sonic. You can find it on Double Toasted, or you can find a shorter version on YouTube. But I bring that up because a lot of people said, boy, that yellow one can't get here soon enough, boy. And Pikachu saw that, and he's like, oh, hey.
Pikachu to the rescue.
Detective Pikachu on the case. I'm here, y'all. Don't worry about it. Everybody is into Pikachu now. People who didn't even care about Pokemon before. People, like, I know girls out there used to just beat up on these nerds for playing that nerd shit. Like, Pokemon, nobody want to play no goddamn Pokemon. Oh. But wait a minute, that sounds like Ryan Reynolds. You mean Pikachu got that's what I'm saying. He got the sexy voice of Ryan Reynolds. Pikachu went from cute to hot in a minute. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding with you, man. Pikachu is so sexy just with the voice of Ryan Reynolds that they got for the women out there Pikachu panties. Just to get them wet. Pikachu, look at him down. He's like, enter.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, with the mouth right there.
Are you gonna do something? For some nerds out there, that's a threesome. Shit, I got a chick and Pikachu too,
and a Pokemon.
And a Pokemon shit. I've caught them all. Man, I've seen every Pokemon movie there is out there.
That's right, you have.
I've seen every Pokemon movie that's out there. Over a decade I've been watching these movies and still don't know what the hell is happening. I can't tell you. I don't play the games. I have nothing against the games at all. Nothing against them at all, man, but I don't play them. It was cute at first. When we started out with Pikachu and Ash. Yeah. I even made an animated short about Pikachu and Ash, Pokemons. I ain't hating. I'm not. And it was cute. All that pika, and they, after about 5 years, I'm like, okay, you need to learn to say something else. I'm getting tired of this shit. I told Ash, you better teach this motherfucker. I'm tired of hearing this pika all day. Sound like Little Caesars. Pizza.
It does. Maybe that's the whole time that the creature's been asking for pizza. He's hungry. Pizza. Oh, yeah, that's nice, Pikachu. Now get out there and fight.
Hey, shit, just a slice. That's why I thought it was cool when they actually had a game. Because a lot of people think this Detective Pikachu is new. And it's not. Detective Pikachu is actually based on a legit Pokemon game.
Are you saying you're a real detective?
I'm not just a detective. I'm a great detective. Detective Pikachu. Bolts of brilliance.
Even though Pikachu sounds like a 40-year-old man who smokes about 2 packs a day.
From the Bronx.
Yeah.
Okay.
He sounded like a chain smoker.
Okay, I kept hearing from all the people we have around here how there was a Detective Pikachu game, but I couldn't reconcile that with the Saturday morning cartoon. And now that I see it together,
yeah,
I really can't put it together.
I told you. So that's why I thought it was kind of cool that we're getting into this live action Pikachu. Because for one thing, as I said, I ain't gonna lie. Ryan Reynolds, one of my inspirations, one of my man crushes too.
Sure.
I said I want to be like Ryan Reynolds and I want to do Ryan Reynolds if I ever had the chance. So they got him in there. Project must be good if they got talent like that. They got Deadpool up in here. Mm-hmm. Also, with this, it's in live action, so the effects are pretty cool. The latest in cutting edge effects, and
mostly,
and also now that we're talking about fighting these animals and everything, and going to Poketown and playing with balls and kind of stuff.
Won't you take me to
Poketown? And they cut it down to an actual mystery. a film noir in a way. And I said, no, now this I can get with. Now you breaking it down to basics for a dumbass like me.
Yeah, you put it on a level that I can understand.
Yeah, that's why I said I've been excited for this for a while. So like I said, I'm not sitting up here hating at all. I think this is something where I stated before, we might be able to make something for the fans, but also making something for the casuals like myself. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer, which everybody's seen before, but we're going to refresh you.
I don't need a Pokemon, period.
And what about a world-class detective? Because if you want to find your pops, I'm your best bet.
Now, when the movie opens up strong, opens up because it sets up mystery. I say at the beginning, there's a good bit of humor. People are already having a good time. They're laughing. But I sat up there and I said, all right, look, it's been 5 minutes and I've just seen 2 goddamn Pokemon. Now, I was promised a world of Pokemon right here. And I'm not getting that at this moment. I'm not getting my Pokemon value.
Man, calm down.
When I saw
what happened to your attention span? 5 minutes and you got to have all the Pokemon right then and there?
Right then and there. I want my world of Pokemon. That's how excited I was to see all these Pokemon. And I got to tell you, as soon as I said that, the movie said, "Oh, you want Pokemon?" And it just picked my ass up and threw me in a pit where I was
a ball pit of Pokemon.
I was neck deep in creatures I couldn't even pronounce. with this movie here, man, I gotta tell you, because you heard it in the trailer, because it starts out in another city. And it's a small town, and I'm expecting to see all kind of Pokemon in the background and everything, but when they get to this place, Rhyme City, it is just packed.
It's lousy with Pokemon.
It is littered with Pokemon. It's Pokemon just on the screen, just everywhere, just flying, crawling, rolling, directing traffic. It's crazy.
It's New Japan. It's like it's taken out a Blade Runner, except half the people there are Pokemon.
Are creatures, yeah. And it's
just integrated into daily life.
Yeah. And you know what? I got to tell you, I think that you can with the direction that we have here with all the Pokemon that you see on the screen, I think that a lot of that can be attributed to the director, Rob Letterman, who I think he perfected this whole thing of making the screen so busy with effects and imaginary creatures, because he's the one that also directed Goosebumps,
right?
The first Goosebumps. It was just something going on with monsters and creatures on the screen, all the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy did it, man. And I got to tell you, man, when you look at this, your kids watching, because when I say that it's busy on the screen with creatures, it is, man, and it almost never stops. It's almost overwhelming in a way with all these Pokemon. It's gonna get to a point where look at your kids, because they're just gonna overdose on this shit. It's just gonna be them just looking at the screen.
You go see it and you see a bunch of young fingers pointing.
Yeah, that's Billy.
They're all throwing balls at the screen.
Charizard, Squirtle. They gonna choke on Pokemon.
One of the best things about this movie is the world building, because they really make Rhyme City feel like a real place where the Pokemon are integrated with the humans and it's all working together. And it's something that a lot of movies I see don't pull off, where you get a sense right off the bat, you get a sense of what their day-to-day life is.
Yeah.
So they get you to buy it from the jump.
Yeah. It's so many Pokemon on the screen that some of them just ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah, some of them are just living like homeless people.
Some of them just homeless, just chilling on bus benches. Some of them just in the middle of the street, just sleep. In this town, there's just pokey shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like San Francisco.
Yeah.
They just got a Pokey Brown out there. Pokemon just shitting in the middle of the street because there's so many of them.
Because of that panda. That panda's just there, just sucking on a bamboo straw with other little pandas crawling all over it. And it ain't about to move for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Which, I don't understand how a panda is a Pokemon. Isn't that just a panda?
Same way a fish is a Pokemon. Please don't ask that question because you're gonna get these people in here started. Don't say.
No, man. There's something I gotta ask about this. Listen, I know it's not my thing. It's not my franchise, but I get that they're creatures. There's something other. But how is it? Some of them they look like complete alien things. Some look like animals we have just around, and some are like humans with a job, like the mime or the guy in armor. Like what are these that they can have all these different attributes?
Okay, Martin.
In one species.
Martin, you remember when? First of all the
Don't you sigh. I'm asking a legitimate question.
All the Poke fans, they know this. First of all, and second of all, you remember when I brought up all those things about Endgame where I said this don't make sense and that don't make sense. You just kind of like, don't worry about it. So that's what I'm telling you. Don't worry about this. They're all kind of different Poke animals. Some of them resemble animals like that we have here, and some of them are actual, other different creatures. That's all. That's all you need to know.
All right. Well, here's another question I have that you might have the answer to, because I'm asking these questions because maybe you know. Now, Pokemon, is that short for pocket monster? Is that where that came from?
Yes.
Okay. See?
Yeah.
See?
But see, that's a short answer right there.
Okay. I was just curious.
There's a part in the movie where Pikachu's walking. There's no spoiler like that, but Pikachu's walking, and he starts singing the Pokemon theme.
Yeah.
And Carlos just as loud, Pokemon, I want to catch them all. I want to be a fighter. I want to go. I was like, I leaned over. Yeah. Like he was a kid watching TV on Saturday morning, just singing in his living room. And I had to lean over to him, and I had to, like he was my kid. Like my wife and I were his parents. I had to
Like
reach
he was
over.
your mentally challenged kid who
Yeah.
grew up.
Yeah.
But his brain never
And
developed.
I had to tap his knee like I was his daddy. Like, Carlos, sit down. And he actually sat back, and I had to look at him and be like, behave. He was sick, grown-ass man sitting up there, Pokemon, I want to live forever, whatever the hell the song goes. Like, you know better than this. Because the reason why I did, because we were sitting there with critics.
Yeah, I know.
And
And they gonna look at you.
yeah, because it was clear, because I introduced him to one of the critics when he walked in. So they knew who he was immediately. And at the beginning of the movie, I had to actually discipline both my wife and Carlos. I said, all right, y'all hush.
No.
And they were good to that Poke song until this happened.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Catch them.
Carlos! He was sitting up there singing that shit like he was performing in a band. I wanna be the very best. Doing air guitar and shit.
Hey, can you keep it that way? It's the best part coming up.
So that is why I tell him to shut up. Don't y'all ever get on Facebook and be like, man, Corey picking on Carlos. Y'all don't see this shit. This really is like watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I mean, think?
Yeah, but it's like even more.
It's a Xerox copy of it.
Oh, but it's like if you went to Toontown and never left. You know when the shit gets crazy with tunes? Yeah, it is a modern day Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but for more of a niche.
Yeah.
Of people out there. World building in this is incredible. The difference between something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and this movie is how serious it takes itself, and actually kind of works. Because I'll tell you when they start out, they act like, nah, ain't nothing funny about this. We're trying to solve a crime. The cinematography is gritty. It's only colored mostly by neon lights in early on in the movie.
Right.
And I like the way they set that up. They set up like a gritty film, more mystery film, modern day, like Blade Runner or something almost.
Yeah, with all the blue and red neon everywhere.
Yeah. Camera stays in motion. It helps make the Pokemon that are in the city, the cinematography actually, is always putting Pokemon out of focus in the background and the foreground. So it feels real when they do that. Like we showed you right here, when they're out in these Poke streets. Justice Smith at the beginning of the film, when he comes in, he's like, so what, this Pokemon? This is a drama for me.
Yeah, because it starts out with his buddy going like, man, remember as kids you wanted to be a Pokemon trainer? He's like, yeah, when I was a kid, I got a job now.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that shit no
Yeah.
more.
He starts out with some funny lines in the beginning, but when he gets to Rhyme City, he's getting down to business.
He's like, "Ah,
Playtime over.
my dad was killed.
Yeah. He brings weight to everything that he's doing here, along with Ken Watanabe, man. When he's in scenes with Ken Watanabe, I thought like, okay, shit, both these dudes are acting like they in a real mystery. Except
Yeah, I feel like Ken Watanabe only read his scenes and didn't know about the rest of the movie because he is playing it super serious, even though he only has 2 or 3 scenes in the movie.
even though he has only 2 or 3 scenes and only a handful of dialogue, which I ain't gonna lie, a lot of it you can't even understand.
I know.
Precinct. If you are anything like your dad.
I'm not.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Be quiet. If you hear him like at the beginning of it, listen to this line.
Tim, your dad was a legend in this precinct.
Huh?
Hold on. All right, I just figured out what you said. Okay, your dad was a legend in this movie.
I ain't trying to be racist enough, but I don't really understand.
I don't want to keep pretending like I do. Let's just.
Yeah. And even like, I don't either. Pokemon, what's this shit? But there's people in here who are taking this very serious, and I appreciate that, man. It actually works better than you think. And then it's funny because you start getting into, you dig more into Tim's past, who's played by Tim, of course, played by Justice Smith. He gets, as you get deeper into his past, into his character, he becomes more dark. He becomes more mysterious. You really do start to become invested into what's going on with him because it feels very emotional too. Because you can tell something happened to him in the past that was very painful for him. And then Pikachu comes in and says, "F it, all that shit stops." He's like
that pain and that loss you feel, that heaviness in your heart. I ain't got time for that.
Oh.
I got jokes, son. Jokes.
it's all
Every
gone.
2 seconds. What you just say? I got a joke for that. You're not talking. I'm gonna just crack some jokes over here. Then.
All that character development,
Open a window.
just flush it down the toilet. It's gone. It's gone. Pikachu's here, baby.
Wait, no.
You know that straight, you know that deep Justice Smith that you got before. He's just a straight man.
Yeah.
For the Pikachu Comedy Hour. And I'm not. Look. I'm not even saying it's bad, but I'm just saying when Pikachu comes in, he looks at Justice Smith like, "Nigga, get out the way." Like, I got jokes. And from that point on, it really does. Now there are moments where they make a good team because Pikachu's a funny man and Justice Smith is a straight man.
To go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Wait, come back here. No, not that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't do this.
Yeah.
No,
Wait for
don't
me.
go there. No, wait a minute, don't say that. Pikachu, don't do this. Oh, Pikachu. That's his role. All that deep development
I know.
it's gone.
It's gone.
I'd like to see this guy's internet search history.
Who are you? Look at these.
I'm so sorry.
Forget the coat. Where's his shirt?
You see, you can just hear the laugh track when he says certain things.
Wow. I'd like to see this guy's internet search history.
That's the thing because from the trailers it looked like, all right, Pikachu's gonna be doing the Deadpool, but it's like, all right, they got to tone it down because it's for kids.
Yeah,
and it's toned down to the point where Pikachu, he's not exactly Theodore Rex. He's not it's not like he's an unfunny comedian, but he's not one that's killing it either. He's making a lot of jokes where you kind of like. There's times I wanted to lean over to him and be like, all right, man, just give it a rest for a little bit. You're not using your A material right now.
Let's go back to Pika Pika. Yeah. You were so cute.
Because there's somebody just constantly making jokes where they aren't that funny, and you just kind of like, All right.
Yeah.
Just take a knee. Take a knee.
They're not really because they're not really smart ass comments as much as they're just like one-liners.
Yeah, and you could tell they were all done after the fact.
Yeah, you know, and you know, but that goes for a lot of the human people in here too, because like I said, you know, Tim, because the thing with Tim is like you kind of miss that development with him, because if Tim ain't not being Pikachu's straight man, then he's running and screaming from a special effect or an explosion or a laser or something.
Yeah.
It's just that at this point, the movie, I'm not saying it's terrible, but it really is something where it started out with human characters and I was kind of getting into them. Mm-hmm. They really do start to be pushed back by the Pokemon and the Pokemon lore, and they become less significant. I mean, even with people like Catherine Newton here, who plays Lucy Stevens, she's starting out trying to solve a mystery like him, and as she gets more into it, she kind of barely becomes just a love interest and a tag along.
Well, it seemed like in the beginning, was like with so many of these, it wasn't so much that she had a lot of her character was all that developed, but you know, she was a bit of a cartoon. But she seemed like she had real purpose.
That's what it is, purpose. Yeah, like I said, she was trying to solve a mystery.
Yeah, and then the longer the movie goes on, the more she's just a sidekick other character.
A tag along, and just barely a love interest.
Mm-hmm.
Just something for they don't even let them kiss. It's just kind of like he just says, "Oh, person I'm kind of oddly attracted to," you know, and it's like, come on, at least seal the deal. Shit, let me see y'all walk into a hotel room or something.
Yeah, you know, be active with it.
I'm not even saying that that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, not necessarily.
It's just, you know, I think it's just good for people to know ahead of time that, you know, once Pikachu arrives in the movie becomes less about, shut up. The movie becomes less about the human characters and becomes more about Pokemon and the history from the games, which means that it'll work better for fans. Mm-hmm. If you're a casual viewer who's just kind of strolling in without knowing anything, there's going to get to a point where you're going to say, what the is happening? I don't know any of this. I know this because I was sitting next to an older woman critic, and by the end of it, she was just losing her mind.
I've read a bunch of things people have written, even critics who were positive, kind of like, yeah, I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's very frenetic and things were happening everywhere, and I kind of got lost. I didn't get lost, not because I know about Pokemon, but just because it apes Roger Rabbit so much, Who Framed Roger Rabbit so much. I was like, all right, it's just following those same breadcrumbs. So I know from that, and I can just parse, okay, this is that, this is that, this is this. All right, I can see where it's going. Matter of fact, to the point where the movie, I like you, I was like, I don't think it's necessarily bad, and I don't want to beat up on it, but once you get past the first act, it is so telegraphed. Like especially in the third act, everything is so telegraphed. They're just moving from thing to thing to thing. I'm like, yeah, okay.
I'm not going to debate you on this because I can't tell you what you knew, but I have a feeling like without knowing about Pokemon, there were some things was like I know the pattern, but I don't know what the is going on with this.
Sure,
you know what? Because
because they kept throwing other things in there, and I was like, okay, don't get distracted by that. It'd be real easy to get distracted by these things here.
Yeah, because it was the point where it just felt like a 9-year-old was making up this shit, and really just things were happening. I'm not saying that. I don't mean as an insult. You better than the woman who's sitting next to me because she just went mad at a point because she was kind of laughing at first at stuff that was genuinely funny, and then by the end she was like, I said, you don't even know what's happening. She's like, no, I'm losing my mind right now. I don't know what's happening. Fans familiar with Pokemon. They get it. They know what's happening. And if you can go with somebody who knows, they can probably explain to you all the stuff. While listen, I'm gonna even tell you the stuff that even does make sense that people tell you about it later. It's still kind of crazy. It's still silly. Yeah. I wish I could tell you what.
No. When you get to it's another one. When you get to the actual plan, the villain's plan, you're like, I don't think this would work.
I don't think this would work.
Matter of fact, you're just pulling stuff out of your ass to force this to work.
Well, that villain's plan just becomes a scriptwriter saying, let's just hurry up and do this shit. Let's get this done.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
All these people disappeared.
if you just move this out of the way, then everything goes back to normal, and we're fine.
Yeah. Now I will tell you that there's with having Ryan Reynolds' voice in here works, and it also works having his character be who he is, because Pikachu is not the regular Pikachu that we see. He's lost his memory somehow, and now he has his voice. And so with him, he's just like us. He's walking around this movie, and there's a point where he don't even know what's going on. He's just like,
Get me the hell out of here!
and there's some people gonna be like, I don't, man, I gotta go. I don't know what's happening.
Look, son, I tried. I really tried. Now you gotta give your dad a break. I'm leaving. You and your friends can watch this shit, but I'm going home.
Yeah, he's reacting like us who don't know what's going on. But I'm those same elements that we don't understand will actually be fine for the fans. They will know everything. That's what this is, man. I mean, look, don't get mad, because I'm not criticizing it at all for that. I think that it does become a fan film in the best way.
Yeah. It's only frustrating because it didn't start that way.
Yeah.
Because it started in a way where it was pretty open to everybody. And it was like, all right, man, I'm digging this. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there is that disconnect point where it's like, all right, I think this is just for the fans.
You have Ryan Reynolds to kind of be your avatar through the movie. Also, I mean, I don't think it's so bad to go into this movie as a tourist. You're not going to know what's going on. You might have to stop and ask for directions at some point. But walking through this, it's almost like an amusement park or a zoo, if you want to get down to it.
Yeah.
Where you can just, it's so visually active that you'll be able to just look at all these Pokemon and kind of delight in that and still have fun with it. From a visual, and I don't, usually when things are just on a visual level, it can seem kind of shallow, but they've done such a great job with that here that it really does help this film. It really does save the movie for people who might be taking their kids, or people might be going to a friend who don't know about it, or people want to see the movie who said, I don't know anything about Pokemon, but this looks kind of badass. For that, I would give it a matinee. There are moments where I would laugh out loud, genuinely laugh out loud at some things that they were doing. Looking at this trailer, a lot of people were looking forward to this Mr. Mime scene right here, and I got to say that was even funnier watching the movie. And it had a good.
It's one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, and it actually has the scene ends with a good punchline or a good gag.
Mm-hmm.
So they put some work into this, man. They just put it in there for the fans, and the reason why I'm taking it off is because I do think it did have the potential to be more open to people out there, as they showed in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they didn't. It's for the fans. So matinee is what I would give it.
Yeah, I always think of movies like this that are clearly very much about something that I might not be into, but if they can pull it off,
Yeah.
Probably the best example to me is that very first Fast and the Furious movie. Because I didn't give a shit about cars. I didn't care about that. Street races, who cares? Boy, by the end of that movie, I was wanting to get out there with them so bad. I was like, I get it.
Yeah,
this is fun.
yeah.
I want to do this again.
I remember you ran to that tree.
And I still wanted to keep doing it. And the way this started, I was like, you know what? This actually could pull this off. There's a point when it's just the second half of it is just kind of bland. Mm-hmm. Like you see all the good stuff in the beginning, the world full of Pokemon, but then it's just bland. It's not taking chances. It's running through old plot lines. It's making things way too convenient. I don't even say plot holes because you're just like, well, we're beyond that at this point.
I got to agree with you heavily and think you made a good point where you said, man, as crazy as this is, a lot of it would seem so crazy that it would be unpredictable. A lot of it's telegraphed, as you said.
Yeah.
You made a great point.
I mean, and honestly, the villain is telegraphed just from the casting alone.
Yeah,
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 actors. Like, if you cast them and there's a secret bad guy, it's that dude.
Yeah, because when he came on, like, come on, man.
No,
let's not waste our time.
Let's not waste our time.
We know who he is. He knows who he is.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. All in all, I never disliked it, but I didn't think it was great at all, or it was just. It hovered at good and sometimes dipped below. To me, this is a very, very low matinee.
Matinee, there you go. Pikachu like, woo! Thought you about to give me some bullshit.
No, because,
Thank you, Marty.
because so much of how they put it together, they pull it off in a way that I didn't think they could.
Yeah.
It's like, man, hats off to you for that.
Yeah.
And it makes it a theater-worthy spectacle.
It really does. If it comes on TV, I will watch it again. I really did have fun just looking at it. So there you go, folks. As you can see, imagine if it works for us, how much the fans are gonna love it. Yeah, man. Imagine how much you're gonna love Sonic when it comes to
Well, did you read that they're redesigning him?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, they're redesigning them. I got the new design right here. There it is. If you like this review, go listen to watch the Sonic review on Double Toasted, our YouTube, and you can find our review for Pikachu in those places also.